Yo, what is up, everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video with your host Kenkukun. And today we got part 2 of the Twab breakdown for Trials. Now, Trials has changed it. Now, I decided to split this into 2 videos right at the end because, well, it would be better. Who knows how many people are gonna stick around for like a 40-minute video. So this one may end up 20 minutes, may end up 10. Anyway. In the last video, link in the description below, and at the end of the video, if you've watched this one already and you want to click on a box somewhere at the top of the screen, it will show you where the other video is at. But I just went over the Twab, went over my thoughts on, and broke down the Twab from my perspective to give you guys food for thought for the weekend and some of the things that still need to change for the better of everything. So now we are going to. Don't forget to hit that bell. Oh, yeah, I'm a bad YouTuber. We are going to turn it over to the Twitch chat. I'm going to go look at Twitch chat real quick and see what people said prior to the last video. And then we're going to look at the Twitter and the replies of, Bungie's Twab. And then I will tell you, I will give you guys the secret. If you skip ahead to the secret, shame on you. But I will give you guys the secret to getting flawlesses often. Again, it's not going to be as easy for everyone as it is. It's not going to be easy for some, as it will be for others. Words, man, I can't do it. So with that being said, some of you might already know the secret, but with that being said, let's go ahead and look at Twitch chat. So let me scroll back up a little bit past Cora, because some other people were let's see. We're saying some stuff. Definitely common sense, right? So we go back to the common sense of incentive, right? Oh, the player base dropping, I think it was, where, the player base drops and it keeps dropping. In this season, ever since weekend number 1, as soon as they made changes, the player base dropped and dropped and dropped. It's like, no, the player base is drop and drop and drop because the season's going on. And it's going to continue to drop and drop and drop. It may hit a stable, a stable player population, but if it continues to drop, it's just because, well, it's common sense. It does it every season. It does it in all games. Any MMO, there is players will get on and do less raids, right? Or less dungeons or less PvP because seasons, there's nothing else to get out of the season, maybe for leaderboards and placements, so some PvP will still strive, right? More people will get on MMOs like, World of Warcraft as an example, bad example, but it's my example, and Final Fantasy 14 online. People will just, all right, I'm done for the season. We got everything we needed. See you guys next season, right? Or next patch update when new stuff comes out, new gear, and the new grind continues. It happens in Destiny as well. It happened in Destiny 1. It happens in Destiny 2. And it's going to continue to happen with whatever Destiny has for the future, right? It's not rocket science. It is what it is. I don't know about all. I always want to get better. I'm not sure what you meant by that, Scrappy Gorilla. I don't know about all. About all, I always want to get better. If you want to explain that in a proper sentence again. Freelance wasn't too bad. You thought? Okay. It took you more than 2 minutes from what I saw. More than 2 minutes. Okay, yeah. So more than 2 minutes for matchmaking. Yeah. All right. So Cora, and we'll reread what he said earlier. Screw this Trials changes crap. I'm done with these guys. They're forcing us to play the way they want the game to be played. I mean, it is their game, and within the confines of any game, you have to play within the confines of what is available to you. So when it comes to video games, there's an illusion to player freedom, right? It's whatever the developers allow you to do, unless now when mods come into play, right? Community mods, or mods that are not supported by the developers, that's when things can get crazy, and then you'll be blowing up chickens in Skyrim endlessly because why? Because chicken mod, right? So stuff like that. So, but I get what you're saying, right? You feel like there's gonna be less options for you to do, right? So I get that. Every single person was happy with week 1, and they changed it for the worse every time. We have no benefit in helping others anymore. What was the benefit before in helping others, Cora? What is the benefit there? And every single person was happy with week 1 and they changed it for the worse anytime. I would say you could even say that's true. Let's say that's true. Every single person was happy with week 1 and they changed it for the worse every weekend after that. However, once Bungie said, "Hey, I know this is cool, but check out this," some players were like, "Wow, this is way better for me," right? And those would be the players that, yeah, I had fun. It was more fun than it's ever been for me. However, I still didn't go flawless. And now you're telling me you're going to bring changes into the game that may pull players out of my way, right? Make it a little bit easier for me to possibly go flawless. Then yeah, I want to play every weekend. And that's the thing that they want. They want people to continue to play every weekend. The illusion that they can go flawless is the most important thing. The illusion that they can win 7 games with and go flawless is the goal, is the illusion, right? The illusion. That's the most important part. That is the goal, right? So those players could have had the most fun they've ever had that first weekend, but if those players don't return, then the player base shrinks, right? And then over time, the player base continues to shrink, not because more people are leaving, because there's less reason to play. Again, a different topic. Is incentive in the game mode, right? So, and let's see, and play a game every 30 minutes for the lockout. I'm not sure what you meant about that, TK. If you want to explain that. Yeah, I'm part of Ken's YouTube. Don't forget to hit the bell. Yeah. Please consider subscribing. Thumb up the video if you like it, or you found it helpful, or you laughed. Leave a comment in the comment section below on whatever you want covering the topic, and yeah, hit that notification bell so you know when my videos go up on YouTube and you want to come on through. I think it should work. People who get help won't be put against that sweaty trials player with just 7 wins. I think that's a good thing. I don't know about all, but I'm always willing to get better and take advice. Yeah, what was the benefit you got the first week? Right, yeah. And Cora may have already stepped away at the moment, but yeah, not everyone wants to learn. There are plenty of people out there when I do try to help them or give them advice or critique, right? Which is what my channel is, which is the theme of my channel on. Oh, you just got back, Cora? Nice. I was asking you real quick, what was the if you want to explain it real quick. We have no benefit in helping others anymore. What was the benefit in helping others before, and how so it can help us understand what was removed with the changes Bungie's implemented. So what was the benefit, I guess, maybe for you, or you think overall for the people that help? And then yeah, so there are people out there that don't want to take the advice on getting better. They do want help, but they don't want to improve, or they don't want the critique. And there are plenty of people that have come through my streams, which my Twitch stream, the theme of it is for Destiny is helping people improve at the game. And some people are like, look, man, because I forget to ask them, right? And they don't watch enough of me to know what's the whirlwind of criticism that's about to come. And they're like, look, you're toxic, or you're mean, or why are you breathing down my neck, or any kind of sentiment like that. It's like, no, I'm just, this is how I operate, right? And I forget to ask people. To this day, I still forget to, hey, what are you here for? Fun, or are you here to learn? If you're here for fun, I'll shut up, and when I have something to critique on you, I can always just mute myself and, in chat, and then critique it to my stream, and just, hey guys, for those that are still here watching to learn, right? There was probably more options we had for this play. So not everyone out there is willing to or is wanting to learn how to get better at the game, right? So without question, they just want to come in, have some fun, win or lose. Some people want to just have fun and go flawless, which means they want to work less at going flawless, which is fine. That's, that's your prerogative. You just can't complain if you're not working hard at going flawless. Like, you can't complain that it's not being handed to you, right? You got to earn stuff. Yeah. So, it gets longer each time, I think, if I'm correct. Where you actually had fun with people you are carrying versus sweating all the time. Okay, if it's gonna be sweats all the time after you get flawless or have 70 plus wins, I'm just gonna run stacked. I see what you're saying. So you don't want it to be harder on your team, right? While you're helping people. And that's from one end of the spectrum, and then the other end of the spectrum doesn't want to run into people that are helping people that are clearly better than them, and then they have to reset because they didn't want to run into people that, you know, play very well, right? Do this for a living, or do this, you know, as often as possible where they do help people, or just play trials a lot, right? So, you know, the opposite spectrum is true. I get where you're coming from. Absolutely. If it's going to be sweats all the time after you get flawless or have 70 plus wins, I'm just going to run stacked. And you can. That's fine. How does that make a good experience for the person you are carrying, you know? Well, and here's the thing. I don't believe in carrying, Cora, and I'm going to come out with a video on that tomorrow. It's going to be a short video, and I'm going to throw that up on Twitter. I don't believe in carrying. I think people joke around about carrying. I joke around about carrying, right, or getting carried or anything. That I truly don't believe in carrying someone. It is belittling to the person on your team. You're making it sound like there is no contributing factor to them, when Lord knows that the people that, you know, and I'm going to use you as a general pool of you, not just you, Cora, but the general pool of, you know, people that sit there and say, I'm carrying someone, but yet they're, use your super, need your super, need your super, need your super. That ain't a carry, chief. If you need something from them, they are contributing to the team, right? And I think they're contributing. I truly believe they're contributing to the team at all times. Again, and I'm going to come out with a video and elaborate all on that. So, but how does that make a good experience for the person you're carrying, you know? So taking that other part of that sentence, or the rest of that sentence, how does that make a good experience for the person you are carrying or helping? That's up to them, man. Like it because it has to fall down to them. Of course, if you're streaming, right, from a streaming perspective, it's your job to make it fun, win or lose. It's my job to make it fun, win or lose, right? And I'm not the greatest entertainer out there. I just ain't, right? So how do you make it a fun experience? You can't complain. You, Cora, me, Kenkukun, right, and anyone else that's out there helping, we can't complain that Bungie made these changes and this is why we're losing. We can't make them seem like it's hopeless or the struggle is beyond them and beyond yourself, right? So number one, you can't do that. Like you cannot be the pessimism of what you can't overcome. Now, Ken, don't you say people are messing up all the time? I'll keep it PG. Absolutely. But those are things we can overcome as well. The mistakes on your own team is different. And this is, again, you don't have to go this route. This is just my route. When people say, you know, hey, Ken, you bring up problems all the time. Yeah, I bring up mistakes that my teammates or myself or the team overall make, and things that I don't see in time, right? Like, hey, we're making the same mistake over and over. We need to adjust. When I don't see that, that's on me, right? You know, so it's not a pessimistic view. It's just it's not a complaining. I would say more of a complaining thing. It's not a complaining a complaining activity is what's happening, right? Versus a, you know, well, this is what we can do here and there, and let's work on this, and we'll probably make it to the lighthouse. Aside from that, aside from not being negative or not, you know, complaining about it, what else can you do? Learn to be funny, and that's how you make it. You crack jokes, man. Crack jokes, small talk, right? Give them an experience that they're not there for Cora and his team to go to the lighthouse. That's the bonus. They're there for, and I should be charging for these secrets. They're there for the Korra experience, right? They're there for the Kenkukun experience. They're not there just to hit that lighthouse. They are there to look back and say, "Oh, I had a great time with Korra playing, Destiny 2." And the last thing they say is, "Oh yeah, and we went flawless." Or they don't say it at all because that wasn't the focus of the experience. You see what I'm saying? So it's not. There is no one answer to that, Korra. There is no one. Those are just some of the things that I've been told, and I try my best to strive towards. And I still have a tough time with that myself. So, that's the fun experience as on the streamer, and it comes for those watching the game. It's a variety of reasons. For those playing with you, that's on your shoulders, right? If you equate it to winning and going flawless, that's not a horrible thing. Everyone does want to win and go flawless, but you give them a good experience and they'll come back no matter what. Like, it happens every time, right? So, for sure, I agree. So let's call it helps. All right, cool. Not a problem. Not a problem. And I don't care, that people say it's scary. I want the third person on the team to always feel like they are contributing, and even if they jokingly say it brings them down. And I know, Korra, you're all about helping people and lifting people up. Like, that's just the man you are. So I know you didn't mean anything else by it. I agree, but it goes back to my point that Bungie is making these changes to cause us to play the way they want us to play. They're not really getting feedback from the players, but rather looking at metrics/numbers. I've always felt like they're not getting feedback from the correct player base. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm on the Bungie forum, right, all the time, and where's it at, right? I'm not gonna say I'm over here in the forum section posting my feedback all the time, and then I know that a Bungie employee comes back and says, "Hey, I read your topic, thanks for the insight." Boom, right? Like, they don't do that. Sometimes they will, but they usually don't. Influencers on the internet have been some of the biggest hindrances in Destiny 2 and Destiny's decision making by far. I'm not even going to talk about other games, but influencers online, so the big name streamers or the big YouTube content creators, right? Listening to them and, well, what would sometimes seem like echo chambers, right, had led into Destiny 2 Year 1, where it was 4v4, things were slowed down. You've never seen a super unless rounds were dragged out intentionally, right? There was only primary weapons, and every weapon had the same role, so nobody could get RNG'd out of a gunfight. You either were better than the other player at the time of engagement, or you weren't. You either played it better or you didn't. And Bloom and all that stuff out of the picture. Like, you had to play better. Everyone had to play within the same confines, right? So the only people that did that in Destiny 1 did 4v4 matchmaking and certain rules and restrictions were the sweatiest players, the people scrimming, the people sweating, right, doing sweats. That's not the majority of the players. So that's why I say I think Bungie for the longest time listened to the wrong part of the crowd and came up with these decisions. Now, all feedback is good because, well, you want to listen to every type of player that plays your game. Even if you have 100 players and for every 10 you look at, you have 10 different points of view, with 10 people at a time, right? So you have 10 different points of views between 100 players. You want to have each point of view and then make your decision, right? So I get you, I get you on that. They're not really getting feedback from players. I think sometimes they get it from the wrong players, or they listen to the loudest players, but they've never said, "Kenkukun, you're mean on Twitter. You're mean to us in the past, and you've really gone off the deep end. However, you got some decent points. If you weren't such a dummy, all right, we might engage in a conversation with you." I've never had them say that, right? So, I'm not saying I'm the perfect source to come get ideas from, but everyone wants to feel like their opinion is being heard. when it comes to decision making in your community. I'm with you on that 100%. Week 1 was enjoyable for all skill tier players. Again, enjoyability, is cool, right? People want to be able to go flawless at the end of the day. So, wow, I'm already at 20 minutes on the recording. We haven't even looked at Twitter. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and dive over to Twitter. Yeah, true, but they also want to change it so the solos enjoy it more, or duos, or whatever. Excuse me, hiccup, but whatever. But I agree. The first week was the best so far. I thought the first week was, I think matchmaking was good, but I got bored. I thought weekend 1 was very boring. It was too easy. And that's how I felt about it. I don't want it to be that easy, personally. And that's me versus, a lot of other things. I don't want it to be a sweat fest all the time, but I don't want to sit there and play teams and 5-0 them constantly and they not come back to trials. Because that's against empowering that's against keeping the player base nice, full, and healthy. And that's just from matchmaking side. Again, we have to look at the incentive to play, which is on Bungie. Now let's go look at Twitter. Let's go have some laughs at people. Now I'm going to laugh more than others, and then I'm going to tell you guys why. So we're going to make this, we're going to wrap this up within like the next 5 minutes or so, because I'm going to give you guys the secret to having better flawlesses, or having more flawlesses and going flawless easier. And when Bungie makes changes, ready for them. All right, so this week at Bungie, we're replacing the flawless pool. All right, and then I went ahead and promoted myself. Who knows? I'm bad at Twitter, so very few people see this anyway. The numbers are still going up. Grenader Jake, oh goodness. Yeah, I'm sure he has reservations out of it. Not looking good for carries. I don't think that's the case. I honestly think that people are jumping the gun and they're worried over nothing. It's like they just see the boogeyman and everything, right? I'm not saying Johnny Warrior is, but there are just a lot of people that do. I didn't think your changes could get any worse. I was very wrong. Hashtag week 1 was the best. Again, I won't deny that weekend number 1, a lot of people didn't have fun. I would say the majority of people, if not everyone, had the most fun. But how long was that going to last? I'm having a lot of fun trials, but I'm not winning anything, so I don't want to go back. That's going to come back. Like, that always comes back. That always comes back, right? Last weekend I jumped into the freelance trials when the flawless pool was active, and I actually had a good time playing trials and going flawless for once. I'm not good at PvP, so if you take away the flawless pool, you are taking away any chances I have of going flawless. All right, also make freelance. All right, so I chuckled at this when I read this. It's like, did he even read the Twab? They're removing the flawless pool, but they're making flawless matchmaking, or they're making matchmaking parameters to matchmake you properly. However, there could be the problem, right? And Bungie could be like, well, this didn't work either, where they say, I got 70 wins but haven't gone flawless, and I'm playing people that have 70 wins that have been flawless, and now I'm still not going flawless, right? So there could be that problem. I could see that, right? Someone that likes it, I like this. I think it's much better and fairer across all skill levels, keeping the challenge for everyone without making it severely unbalanced. Excited to try it out over the weekend. Let's see. The only issue I'm seeing is if my team gets denied Lighthouse access 3 times. This happened on Bannerfall. We now have 18 plus wins this weekend and no flawless. By their wording, it sounds like we will also be matching 18 plus win people regardless of if they've been flawless or not, which is still not a bad thing. Once you went flawless, if you can get 18 plus wins and you're only dropping games 6 and 7, right, and now you're resetting, you're right there. It's only a matter of time before you go flawless. It's only a matter of time before you go flawless. That weekend. Like, not that season, that weekend. Bungie, when they say, oh boy. Whoops, I didn't. There we go.
I was acting.
Oh, that's funny. It also incentivizes behavior that is at odds with the mode and reward systems, like resetting a flawless 6-win ticket to keep getting Easier matches, but worse rewards. Gonna need an explanation for the discrepancy here, Os. We still don't see any evidence of widespread flawless card resets to avoid the flawless pool. Less than 0.5% of cards played were... Right, and that is a contradiction there. I think they just want to remove that altogether, just like... And I still hope for account recoveries, if they're true to their word, I expect like a mass ban wave every season, and they're waiting. They're waiting in the shadows, and they're about to come, they're about to come get people. Since there's no flawless matchmaking, there's no reason for the 0.5% to delete their cards anymore. Since they can't farm bad players, they may leave the playlist altogether. Or, they just may play and accept what it is. Again, Bungie's been making changes here and there, and I'm okay with Bungie making changes and trying new things. And they can always reverse this, right? Again, give the process time. This is, I get where Cora's coming from. I get where other people, are coming from. Just try it out, man. Right? People are afraid of things that they don't understand, or they think they understand, and they sit on the edge of fear. This isn't a choice between cutting the red wire versus the blue wire, and everyone's lives are in your hand, right? This is 1 weekend of trials. Anyone that's been around long enough has gone and slogged through the toughest trials weekends, the toughest comp weekends, right? It's just going to be another drop in the bucket for everyone, right? Just go through the weekend, see how it goes. You might be surprised, you might not, right? So people like to jump the gun, make a big stink about things when all they smell is themselves. There's definitely some damn it, I should have said all they smell is their KDs. Dang, I missed it. There's bad YouTuber. There's definitely someone working for the darkness at Bungie right now. This is just lame. How are we supposed to play with our casual friends without matching Cronus Max kits every game? Can we have an option on PC to turn off crossplay too, please? Interesting choice to turn off crossplay so they don't want to match with other console players, or play against other console players. Interesting. With that being said, how are we supposed to play with our casual friends without matching Cronus Max kits every game? Taking that Cronus Max aside, playing with your casual friends, the people that like to play with stacked teams all the time, you probably will. Hopefully, the idea is you see them less. Like, so Cora, if you're helping someone or I'm helping someone, and there's a team that likes to play with just their friends and they're all good at the game, then maybe you won't see them as often, right? So they're playing in their own bracket, which is a good thing, because I would like the challenge, but I wouldn't want to see them every single game or 5 games in one day or anything like that. Absolutely not. I wouldn't mind playing against other players that are helping others and have the same wins. Again, this could be a good thing. It could be better than the flawless matchmaking pool. It could be worse. It could be the same. We won't know until that time comes, right? The goal of limiting blowout matches and having matches be as fair and closely matched as possible fundamentally clashes with the idea of winning 7 games without losing. Flawless is a dinosaur and needs to be left behind. I am going to keep saying this until someone listens. All right, then this is where we ignore what this person said, and everyone stop listening. If there is no flawless to be had and everyone could get it, like, the people, I'm telling you, man, people would just not want to play the game. I wouldn't want to play the game, and then I would be on the boat with Cora, right, on that same wobbly boat, saying there's no reason to help people. Right now, I'm only playing with people because they want to play with me, and that that camaraderie and bonding. I'm gonna be real personal with you guys. That don't go so far for me. I like the challenge. I like hanging out with people. I like having fun with them. But after a while, I wanna have some challenge, right? I don't want to just sit there and be like, all right, Ted, see you next week, right? Or anything like that. Like, and that's I'm sure there are other people out there like that, but that's just me right there. The bonding and the friendship, and the community is great, and I love it. It's just I want that challenge, and if I don't get that challenge, I'd rather go bond and friendship over another game half the time, like because I'm way past ready to like let Destiny die for me, and Trials is the only thing I enjoy out of it, other than the community, and that would be like me. I don't drink, right? So my dad drinks and he goes to the bar. I go to the bar to hang out with my dad. I'm not saying I have a horrible time there, but it's not the best time I could be having. I'm just there because of my dad, right? It would be this. I'm there in Destiny because of my friends. I don't care for Destiny, but they're there, so I'm there, right? When we can, instead of gathering at Destiny, we could gather at something else, right? So this seems dumb. So you're discouraging people from playing just to get some games in. Like I usually wait till the Sunday reset, but if I'm on, I'll play some earlier in the weekend. Pretty much telling me to wait to play any till then. Lol. All right. That's the downsides of not having skill-based matchmaking. Here's an idea: enable skill-based matchmaking in solo queue. I've seen skill-based matchmaking in this game, and I was around also when it was like comp score matchmaking and you played people at 5500. I was there when it was 4v4 and Not Forgotten. People were trying to buy Not Forgotten account recoveries for $1,000, and you had to, if you lost one game, that was like 3 wins just thrown away, and you had to fight the same teams, man. Like, this person doesn't even know what they're asking for, I don't think. I'm sorry, man. Destiny 2 Fashionista. Yeah. Doesn't sound like you were playing those skill-based matchmaking pools. Nah, man. You're at, as long as the player pool is good, yes. But if this player pool, you take this back 2 years, man, this guy wouldn't even comp. I ain't got time for that. Comp is stupid. I ain't playing that. Like, you wouldn't. I guarantee you wouldn't catch this person playing PvP at all. Let alone trials if it came back at that time. Nah. I'm not saying we don't need skill-based matchmaking, but I remember those days, man. They were not fun. So anyway, let's get into the secret. The 32-minute video. We're gonna wrap it up here within the next 3 minutes, guys. So when Bungie comes up with things, and when Bungie comes out and they change things, all right. I've been very I've sat here and I've watched and I've posted my opinions very sparingly here and there on Twitter, just because I don't want to like step on anyone's toes. Oh, I got a like. I hope it's from Cora. I don't want to like make anyone. I don't want to sound like I'm arrogant either or egotistical, or anything like that. So the problems that people find or the problems that people have this season, I myself have not run into. I haven't felt like the seasons, any one of these weekends, have been as hard as just last season alone before the revamp. That season was tougher than any single weekend I've had this season, right? And the season's not over. It's a long one. So we could see some pretty bad stuff. It's a long season. Long. We still got 3-4 months. Long time. So anyone that says that this season is worse than anything before this, they didn't play. They're remembering something totally different. It wasn't Destiny 2, man. Like, I'm telling you right now. So I personally have not had that problem. So the secret to success is gotta be something I'm doing right. I'm always, again, it's not everyone's cup of tea. When I sit there and I play with my team, and I help people out, I never sit there and I don't complain about Arbalist. I don't complain about Lorentz. I don't complain about they're running triple shatter dives. I don't complain about Wish Enders, empowering rifts. I do not complain about the enemy team and what they're doing. All right, this is the secret. You can be annoyed with it. I'm not telling you to change your feelings. I'm telling you to change your approach. When you change your approach, then you find success. All right? And this is next level Ken stuff. When you change your approach, then you find success. All right? And my approach is, I look at myself and my team, and it could sound harsh at times. I look at it's round 3 and we're down by 3 rounds, so we're 0-3. And I look at that scoreboard, and for the last 3 rounds, I've seen Kenkukun with 1 to 2 kills, right? He's either got a 1.0 KD or more, and the others are kind of they're negative each round. If they either have a 0, right? And this is trials, you only have 1 life to make changes happen unless you get a revive or get revived, right? So if you die, you're probably negative for that round. And I see my teammates, so by round 3, it's like, hey guys, I don't know what's happening. You guys are dying a lot. Yeah, I'm putting the spotlight on them. It's not just them though. Like at the same time, I have to look at myself and say, where is the weak part of my team? Can I stop that? Is there something I can do to now elevate the rest of my team? And that may mean I no longer go kill one guy that I keep outgunning, and I give up that engagement, or we make an adjustment somehow, right? So it's the change of the approach. I'm no longer saying we're losing because of Lorentz and there's nothing we can do, or Wish Enders with empowering rifts and there's nothing we can do. I'm telling people, look, there are things we can do, whether you like them or not. We just have to play a little bit, and yeah, you have to play a little bit tougher. But as time goes by, you improve upon those. And for those that are helping others, you get better at helping others. For those that are playing with their friends, you guys get better team synergy and cohesion. Because just like in Destiny 2, in the real world, I've said this on stream already, in real life, better team play beats better skilled players. All right? Better team plays beat better skilled players. It goes for sports. It goes for games. All right? When you have better team play, you win more games. So the secret is, is within you guys, right? You guys have the potential. You just got to be willing to do it. Again, it's probably not the secret you guys wanted to hear. But I am here. I'm always trying to help people improve at the game. My community, as far as I can tell, everyone that watches me regularly, they don't come into the stream at any point in these weekends, have they said, other than when they initially turned on the flawless matchmaking pool, they came in and told me that stuff was horrible. And I was there with them. I said, you know what, that is pretty tough. Because I went in there that Friday evening, and we won a couple games, and I said, wow, this is pretty tough. And I liked it compared to the easy games earlier that day. And it got easy. The flawless pool got easier as time went on, right? It kind of balanced out more, right? So my community, and this is where I didn't want to come off as arrogant, my community hasn't had that. Other than that, they'd never come in and said, I'm having a tough time, Ken. The people that are regularly here that, put in the effort and pay attention and watch my YouTube videos again, this is not just a promotion. It's, I must be doing something right, because they don't come back to me and say, Ken, I'm struggling. They're not. They're out there having a grand old time, right? And I've said it a long time ago. If you, the more you start adapting to Bungie's changes, right, you're just going to chameleon through these patches, and you won't have the tough time. Other people will have the tough time, like me. Like, I'm not saying I'm better than anyone out there, but I'm doing something right, all right? So something to consider if you're watching this live on YouTube, you see the video on Twitter, in a Discord somewhere, wherever you see it, and you've made it 40 minutes into the video. Damn it, I'm sorry it's so long. Come find me live on Twitch. Don't, don't, if you've never watched me before, don't take anyone else's word. You don't want to watch this dude, it's waste your time. They probably just didn't like improving, or I was toxic back in the day, and they're holding a perspective of me that's 3 years old, all right? And, I don't blame them for that. So, you find me live on Twitch, guys. Good luck getting to the lighthouse. I'll have a video tomorrow talking about carries and why I think, why I think it's really hurtful for anyone to really use. And yeah, subscribe, thumb up, notification bell, comment section below. all that good stuff. You know where to go. All the stuff below the video. And I will see you guys in the lighthouse. Peace.